Hello everyone, welcome to Daily Current Affairs Analysis brought to you by Shankar IAS Academy, and this is for the day of 6th of September 2025. Before we start, please subscribe to the channel for regular updates. These are the topics which you'll be seeing for today, and they are: first topic is about coffee. We'll see about the requirements for coffee plantation, the states in India which contribute to the coffee production, and India's global ranking in coffee, and also the recent issues regarding the coffee plantation. Second article is about the Indian Post Payment Banks. We'll see about payment banks in general and in particular about the Indian Post Payment Bank. The third article is about the anti-vaccine movement. We will see the reasons for rise of anti-vaccine movement and the measures which we can employ to address these. And the fourth one is about the prelims focus. These are the short notes which will be helpful for both prelims as well as mains. We will begin today's discussion with coffee. It's in news because there has been heavy damage to coffee plantations in Karnataka because of incessant rains for over 3 months, extreme cold weather, and lack of sunlight. The regions affected are the districts of Chikmagalur, Coorg, and Hassan. These districts are known as the coffee heartland of India because these account for over 70% of total coffee production in India, and the estimated loss is about 30%. So this is the estimate value. The real value is yet to be ascertained. So that is, we can expect a loss of about 21% of India's coffee production. So we will see about the climate conditions which are required for coffee cultivation. The ideal range of temperature should be between 15 to 28 degrees Celsius, and the rainfall should be about 150 to 250 centimeters. And the soil required is well drained loamy soil rich in humus, minerals like iron and calcium. Loamy soil is a combination of sand, silt, and clay. It is considered to be fertile compared to other types of soil, and it thrives in a hot and humid climate with shaded plantation. This shaded plantation is important for the coffee cultivation, and it can be cultivated at an altitude of 600 to 1600 meters above the sea level. So this is the top coffee producing countries for year of 24 to 25. This is taken from the US department website. This is not from the Indian website. And do remember, this is for this particular timeline. This might change when you go for next year. That is when you go for prelims next year. So try update this ranking based on the current statistics which they will be releasing. So now India ranks 7th in the production. If I am not wrong, previously India was ranked 6th. So do check the exact ranking before you go for prelims exam. And also this ranking can be asked in directly asked as a statement in prelims exam. Do ensure that you are able to clearly differentiate whether they are asking the production rank, consumption rank, or the export rank. All three are different. All these three are different. Just because we are 7th in production doesn't mean that we will be also 7th in export. It will vary. So do check clearly about what they are asking, because in prelims we will be solving about 100 questions. We might miss out these keywords. Now we will see about India's coffee industry. This is taken from this coffee board website. We can see that about major production of coffee is concentrated in South India, and that too in the Western Ghat region. So we grow both Arabica and Robusta type of coffees, and about 70% of production is from Karnataka. Next, about 20% is from Kerala, and Tamil Nadu accounts for about 5% of coffee production. Also, other states such as Andhra Pradesh and Odisha are contributed to coffee production, and also the northeastern states like Assam, Manipur, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Tripura, and Mizoram are also emerging as coffee producing areas. Now this is important, as you can expect a mains question regarding it. They can ask what are the opportunities and challenges regarding emerging coffee production areas in Northeast. And these three can be asked as a statement in prelims also. Coffee is considered as an export-oriented crop. The reason is about 70% of Indian coffee is exported to destinations such as Italy, Germany, Belgium, Russia, and USA. Also, it is known as shade-grown coffee because it is grown under the canopy of tree, and it results in eco-friendliness and high-quality coffee beans. Why it is eco-friendly? Because the trees prevent soil erosion and results in also support high soil moisture. It also supports to biodiversity by supporting various bird species and pollinators. And the beans are of high quality because the coffee cherries, which ripen slowly because of the growth under a shade, results in high flavor and aroma and high bean quality. Also, with related to this, check about the different types of cropping pattern. This shade grown coffee, that is coffees grown under the canopy of trees, can be mentioned as an example of shelter cropping. There are also other types of cropping, example intercropping, mixed cropping, monocropping, etc. Do check about these things. The next is about the Coffee Board of India. It is a statutory body established under the Coffee Act of 1942, and it's under the administrative control of Ministry of Commerce and Industry. So two things to note: the year and also the ministry. Don't confuse it with Ministry of Agriculture, because these statements can be asked in prelims directly, and to frame a trap they can mention it as it is under the Ministry of Agriculture. So his headquarters is in Bengaluru, Karnataka, and his functions is promotion, research and development, quality control, extension services, and export promotion of coffee. Now we will move on to the next topic. This article is regarding the Indian Post Payment Bank. It's a news because the Indian postal system has become the world's largest doorstep banking network. Now we'll get into this article. The first we will see about the payment banks in India. It was recommended by the Nachiket More Committee on Financial Inclusion in 2013. Apart from this committee, you can also read about Raghuram Rajan Committee and Urjit Patel Committee. These committees can be asked as match the following in prelims exam. Now the second point is, it was introduced by RBI in 2014 as a new category of banks, and its aim is to promote financial inclusion by providing small savings accounts and payments or remittance services. Now what is this financial inclusion? It means that the individuals and businesses have accessibility, affordability, and availability to banking products and services. These three A's, such as that is availability, affordability, and accessibility, are the generic terms which can be used in mains answers. Now we will see about the features of payment banks. First thing is, you can accept deposits up to 2 lakhs per customer. Second is, it cannot issue loans. Other services which they are made to offer are, they can accept demand deposits, that is both current and savings account. They can also provide payment and remittances services. They can also provide internet and mobile banking services, and they can also distribute financial products such as insurance, mutual funds, and pension products. And they can even issue ATM or debit cards, but not credit cards. This is important as this can be asked as a statement in prelims exam. And also there is a difference between payment banks and small finance bank. One difference is that payment banks cannot lend, but the small finance banks can lend. Do check more about the small finance bank and why they are required. Now we will see in particular about the Indian Post Payment Bank. It was launched in 1st of September 2018 by the Government of India. The Government of India has 100% ownership over it under the Department of Post under the Ministry of Communications. It is licensed as a payment banks by the RBI under the Banking Regulation Act of 1949. Now we will see the significance of IPPB. It is the largest postal network as an act as a last mile banking infrastructure. We have close to 1,60,000 post office outlets. So this acts as a last mile connectivity. And even in northeastern region, there are about 5.1 million accounts under the Indian Post Payment Bank account. Second thing, it provides doorstep banking services to postmen. We have about close to 2.5 lakhs gram dark savings. So we are this Indian Post payment banks are able to provide with ease the doorstep banking services even in the rural areas. Third aspect is it acts as a bridge between informal banking and unbanked or underbanked households. So what is this unbanked? Unbanked means the people or the households which do not have any bank account. That is, they are yet to get into the formal banking sector. Underbanked means they are already into the banking sector, such as they might have bank accounts, but they are underutilizing it. For example, for taking loans, even though they have an account, they are not taking loans to the banks, but still resort to loans from the money lenders. So that's all for this topic. We'll move on to the next topic. The next article which we'll be seeing is about anti-vaccine movement. It's in news because Florida plans to become the first US state to eliminate all childhood vaccine mandates. So what is this anti-vaccine sentiment? It's just a resistance to vaccination, and it has existed from the beginning of first vaccination itself. For example, during the vaccination from smallpox. So we'll see the reasons behind the anti-vaccine sentiments. All these can be linked with the COVID-19 vaccination drive, which we have really seen from a first-hand perspective. So the first one is misinformation and conspiracy theories. For example, when you relate with this COVID-19, we still don't know the origins of this COVID-19 virus, and these things are easily, fake news is generated and are easily circulated in the social media platforms like WhatsApp, YouTube, Facebook. So these becomes an issue. Also, for example, regarding the misinformation. For example, a person takes a COVID-19 vaccine and after few days he dies. This news is spread as this death is related to the vaccination. Now we actually don't know whether it was caused because of adverse effect by the vaccination, or he had certain conditions previously. But the news which is being circulated in the media is circulated as death because of vaccination. The second reason is about religious or personal belief. Certain religions or even personal belief tend to associate or have negative feeling regarding vaccination. They might even consider it as an impure or a harmful practice. There is another aspect of distrust in government or pharmaceutical companies. These are actually the vaccination is actually seen as a strategy to earn profit, and also public sometimes have mistrust on the government, also on the companies, because they think that they are hiding certain facts regarding the adverse effect and even the trials data. The next concern is regarding the safety. This was a major issue which the government faced during this COVID-19 vaccination drive. There was high safety concerns regarding the adverse effects due to this vaccination, because normally the vaccination from the production till it's rolled out for everyone, it almost takes a decade. There are many phases of clinical trials, and at last it almost takes a decade. So but due to this unforeseen situation, we had to roll it in a fast track mode. That is, within a year almost everything was rolled out. So people always had the doubt regarding the efficacy of it first. Second, whether the pre-trials and the trials were conducted properly, and regarding the data, which did the government or the company share the authentic data regarding the effects of it, both the positive effects and even the adverse effects. Next one is regarding the freedom and autonomy of the individuals. People sometimes consider the individual liberty of the right to health compared to uh, the society health or a community health at large. And also there is another reason regarding the complacency. For example, this COVID-19, people were many. There are many sections of people who consider this COVID-19 itself as a small small health issue. Now we will see the strategies which we can use to addressing this vaccine hesitancy. First one is regarding the public education. The public must be educated regarding this vaccination. So before educating about this vaccination, they also need to be educated about the issue which they are dealing with. That is the disease which they are dealing with. So you can take help of the online platforms or even social media to educate this public about this vaccination drives. Also, there were certain initiatives by the government which took during this COVID itself, like educating the younger generation, which in turn educated the elder generation in the households. Do check what was the name for it. Second is regarding the transparency. The government and the pharmaceuticals company must be transparent about the trials which they have taken, the data related to it, and they must be shared openly to the public. Third one regarding engagement. The local influencers or we can say filmmakers or politicians and leaders must be engaged so that the public can gain trust. Also, we can engage the ASHA and Anganwadi workers for this. Fourth one is regarding the policy level changes. Instead of coercing the public to take vaccination, we can actually incentivize the people who are taking vaccines. So this will also result in higher vaccination drives. Now we will see vaccination regarding India's context. Historically, we also faced resistance to even smallpox and polio vaccines. And regarding COVID-19, there was also initial hesitancy about the Covaxin and Covishield. For example, there were misinformations regarding that if you take a Covishield vaccine, it results in heart attacks. And what was the government response? This is very important. You can even mention it as an example or good practices, how the government responded. There were awareness campaigns initiated. For example, Har Ghar Dastak, which meant door-to-door vaccination drives, and Jan Andolan. It means community participation in the vaccination. And also using trusted local influencer or community or religious leaders. The greatest example can be our Prime Minister. The Prime Minister took the vaccination of Covaxin and it was widely circulated. So when a head of a state itself takes a vaccination, it increases the public trust on the vaccination program. So this can be quoted as an example. Second is regarding the strong IT and communication strategy. Example, the CoWIN platform. So if you see that CoWIN platform, every day if it shows the data like lakhs of people are administered vaccine, and also there have been lakhs of people who have been administered the second dose. This also in turn create or increases the public trust on this vaccination and promotes the people to consider vaccinating against the disease. So that's it for this topic. We can expect a mains related question regarding it. Regarding vaccines related to certain diseases, we can also expect a prelims question, and if I'm not wrong, it was also a prelims PYQ regarding uh, COVID vaccines, like which type of vaccine it is. It is a live attenuated vaccine or is a mRNA vaccine, etc. And in mains, we can expect questions similar to what we have discussed. The reasons for anti-vaccine sentiment and how to overcome these things. Now we'll move on to the next topic. Now we will see about the Prelims Focus. The first one is regarding awareness program on cooperatives for transgender community. It is organized by the Department of Social Justice and Empowerment with Lakshman Rao Inamdar National Academy of Cooperative Research and Development and National Institute of Social Defense. Its aim is to highlight how cooperatives can serve as a powerful instrument for economic empowerment, collective growth, and social inclusion. So this you can use as an example for empowerment of transgender community, and you can also expect questions regarding cooperatives in mains. For example, they can ask how cooperatives ensure development. So you can say that it gives collective voice to the people. With cooperatives, they have enhanced access to financial resources, uneven technology, and also in the cooperatives there is enhanced savings and improved access to credit, etc. The second topic is regarding the National Cooperatives Development Corporation. It is a statutory organization under the Ministry of Cooperation. This is the important point, and it can be directly asked as a statement in the prelims. So they might confuse you with whether it is statutory or not, and they can even change a ministry so as to twist the statement. So it's established in 1963. Its aim is to promote, strengthen, and develop farmer cooperatives for increasing production, productivity, and instituting post-harvest facilities across the country. The next topic is regarding the new GST system. GST Council during its 56th meeting decided to revamp the tax structure into a primarily two-rate system. Its objective is to simplify India's existing multi-rate tax framework and make taxation simpler and fairer. So this was actually a criticism with regard to GST initially. So GST, when they introduced, it was said as a one nation, one tax, but it had about 5 tax slabs, that is multi tax slabs. So it was said as a criticism. Now in the revamped tax structure, they have reduced it to 2. So under the categorization of tax, the existing 5 tax slabs for goods and services will be categorized into 2 main rates. The first slab is for 5% and slab 2 is for 18%. And apart from that, there is a special slab for 40%, which is for sin goods and luxury items. So goods and services are classified into two mainly as essential items and standard or luxury items. The essential goods and services. These are necessities such as food items, basic household goods, and essential services, and they will attract a lower tax rate. The standard or the non-essential goods and services include luxury items, discretionary goods, and high-value services, and they will attract a higher tax rate. Now we will see about sin goods. Sin goods are products considered harmful to health or society, which include tobacco, gutka, pan masala, and alcoholic or sugary beverages. And these, to discourage the consumption while raising revenue for the public welfare, these are subjected to higher taxation. So we can even relate this sin goods to an article under DPSP. Please check that. And earlier it attracted a tax rate of 28% plus an additional compensation cess, but now the cess is being phased out and now there is a consolidated single slab of 40%. Now we will see about the sustainable aviation fuel. It is a biofuel used to power aircraft that has similar properties to conventional jet fuel but with a smaller carbon footprint. It is obtained from non-fossil fuel sources called feedstocks. Feedstocks means raw materials, which includes waste products like cooking oil, agricultural waste, and municipal solid waste. So the aim is to decarbonize the aviation sector. So in this you can expect a prelims question. For example, they can ask the sources for this, which can be used as source for sustainable aviation fuel, and even you can quote this as an example for in mains where you are writing steps which can be taken to decarbonize the aviation sector. Now also check for the initiatives of Government of India with regard to this. And that's it for this topic. Thank you for watching this video. If you find it helpful, please like the video and give your valuable feedback, and do subscribe to our channel for regular updates. Thank you and have a nice day.